What's up, guys? So today we're going to talk about 5 ways that you can communicate better with your customers. So these are going to be more geared towards service-based businesses because that's where my experience is. But if you're a business owner of a different type of business, some of these may apply as well. So the first way to communicate better with customers is to make sure that everything in the job is spelled out clearly before you start. So a common miscommunication that happened with me when I was first starting is that I would say I was going to power wash the house and it wasn't clear if the deck or shed or fence or something like that was included as well. And the first few times that happened, I just did whatever the customer wanted because they thought it was included and I thought it wasn't, and it wasn't too big of a deal. But going forward, I always made sure to ask that up front just so that there was no miscommunication over what exactly was included. Also, another thing that happens in my particular business is if I say, we're doing the windows, you need to make sure if it's just the outside windows or both inside and outside, and if I'm going to take the screens out or if the customer's going to take them out beforehand. So the second thing is to make sure that the customer knows when you're coming out to the job. So typically when I'm doing the estimate, I'll say that I'm going to give them a day or two notice before I come out. And then obviously a day or two before I come out, I'll just let them know which day I'm coming and around what time, the best that I can. This just allows the customer to plan for their own purposes because sometimes they prefer to be in the house when you're there. Sometimes they don't prefer it because of the noise. Whatever the case may be, it just allows them to plan better. So the third thing to communicate better with customers is to let them know if there are any changes in the schedule. So if you have let them know about a certain date that you're coming out, but maybe it's raining that day and it's a window washing job or something like that, or another job just takes longer, that's fine. Just let them know so that they're not confused when you don't show up. Or really anything else that you've told them that maybe is different now, just let them know. It's normally not a big deal. The fourth way to communicate better with customers is to let them know what they need to do before the job. So some customers think that they might need to be home when I'm there. They don't really need to, but for my business, they mainly just need to make sure that the water's turned on, and if it's a power washing job, that all the windows are closed. And if it's window washing, if they're taking out the screens, then they'll obviously need to take those out. But depending on what your business is, make sure that the customer knows exactly what they need to do in order to have their house prepared. So the fifth and final way to communicate better with your customers is to notify them immediately if anything goes wrong on the job. So the most common example is that if you break something on their property by accident, just make sure you tell them as soon as possible because a lot of people, especially since they all have security cameras these days, they very likely will find out about it. And even if they don't, it's just better to let them know. And then in most cases, if it's a small amount of property damage, I'll just take it out of the contract price. But whatever you do, just make sure that they know immediately. So that's it for this video. That was 5 ways to communicate better with your customers. So I'll see you in the next video.